We all have negative experiences in our lives. We can't change that. Oftentimes we can't change the situation, but we could change our reaction to it. What I work on is to help people change their perspective. Find that positive element.
Because I find sometimes driving can be very stressful. And I'm sure all of us have been in a situation where we've been stuck in traffic. So what do we do when we're stuck in traffic? We honk our horn, we start to swear, we start to get our blood pressure worked up. But no matter how much honking or swearing we do, we'll still not move anymore. We still will be stuck there. So I thought, I can't change the situation, but I could change how I look at the situation. So I decided that I was going to find fun ways to keep myself amused while I was stuck in traffic. So what I do when I'm stuck in traffic, I take out this little prop and I look at people in other cars. And what I find is all the people who are angry and nasty and honking their horn next to me, they're starting to smile, they're starting to laugh. So not only have I relieved the stress of the people around me, it's also been a good stress reliever for myself. So I'm always looking for ways that I could turn these negative situations into positive situations.
And this is a perfect example of how somebody coped with a very difficult situation in their life. And what happened with her is this lady loves to go skiing. She just loves skiing. She skis as often as she possibly can. And she was at this one beautiful ski resort, and she was just getting ready to go down the slopes, and she realized the 5 cups of coffee she had in the morning were catching up with her. And she realized she was completely surrounded by trees. And she also realized it would take her a long time to get back to the restroom. So she looked around again at all these trees, and she said, no one could see me. Maybe I could just take care of things over here. So she's looking around again. She's completely surrounded. She's looking around. She said, no, everything's clear. I think I could take care of this. So she drops her ski pants a little bit, and she starts to bend her knees. But the one thing that she forgot the one thing that she forgot is when you bend your knees and you're wearing skis, it puts you in motion. So she started going down the slope with her pants down. And she went all the way down, and then she fell into a tree and fell over. And when she was getting up, the people from the ski place came to see her, and they said, how are you doing? She says, oh, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm fine. They said, well, as part of our insurance regulations, we have to take you to the emergency room. She said, no, really, I'm fine. They said, no, because of the insurance thing, we've got to take you to the emergency room. She said, okay. So she goes to the emergency room, and she's sitting there waiting to be seen. And as she's sitting there waiting to be seen, they bring a man on a stretcher. And she said he looked terrible. He was bruised and banged up. He looked really awful. And she said to him, what happened to you? What happened? And he said, lady, you're not going to believe this story. I was at the ski resort, and I was going down the slope. And as I was going down the slope, this lady with her pants down comes right in front of me. And I was so startled, I ran into a tree. And then he said to her, what brings you to the hospital? And she said, you don't want to know. In order to reach the mind, we need to start right here. We need to start with the heart. We connect with each other through emotions. I do that through stories. Oftentimes in my programs, people will come up to me afterwards and they'll say, when you told that story, that reminded me of an experience in my own life. In that way, I knew I made the connection. And there's some other people that helped me along the way. Got a picture here. Yeah, that's a picture of my wife Beth and one of our pugs, Miles. And Miles actually has a connection to this area. Miles was born in Tip City. Miles was born in Tip City. And this was actually a Christmas card from a few years ago. And a friend of mine, after he got it, he called me up and he says, I have to tell you one thing. You and Beth look good, but the baby's ugly.